Welcome to Future Fighters Cast Episode 2, recorded on October 11th, 2014. Hello everyone, welcome to Future Fighters Cast Episode 2 at last!
Yay!
Yay! Episode
Finally!
2 is finally out. Finally! Anyway, today I am here with, how should I call you for this?
Team Buddyfight.
Team Buddyfight. We're finally gonna get around to talking about all the stuff that has happened in the past, or the stuff that's happening soon. Not so much in the past, because it's been taking too long. But, finally, we're gonna get around to doing this. So, I'm Giraton here, we got, Team Buddyfight, and we're gonna go through this. I probably just screwed up this intro, but who the hell cares? We're gonna be going over the news, which is, mostly new sets and stuff. We're gonna go over each of our thoughts for each of the worlds in Buddyfight. We're gonna go a bit into sideboarding, and then card of the month, of course, and then we're just gonna close it off there. So, oh yeah, and there's also general discussion, which we will be going over a little bit. So let's start off with the news. First of all, we've got 2 new sets coming up. Well, not really 2 new sets. We've got a set and a trial deck, which
Darkness Fable and another one.
Those are the 2 newest ones. We can't go over them. Those were just released, or could consider it news. But otherwise, it's the Asmodai trial deck and the next trial deck, which is more Darkness Dragon World stuff. Just gonna see if I can find it. Unprofessionalism at its best.
So, with the new set of Darkness Fable, we were introduced to Darkness Dragon World and Legend World.
We also got more Dragon World stuff, as per usual. We also got a bit of generic stuff, a few interesting things, like the Devil. So more tarot cards. But other than Devil, there wasn't really anything that would improve upon the decks. Well, there was the counter-attack card, which was quite interesting. But of course, that's not the focus. Basically, there was the three worlds that were in Darkness Fable. So there were 3 main things that were in this new set, which was Legend World introduced, Darkness Dragon World introduced, and more Jackknife support for Dragon World, as well as a few other things that were kind of alright, but not massive. Should we start off with Legend World?
Yes, so with Legend World, we were introduced to Heroes, Wider Sarkars, and Asgard. The Heroes are like the Knights of the Round Table. Wider Sarkars are more mythical creatures. And Asgard is basically snow. That's what I can say.
Asgard is snow. It's based off the Asgard legends, but because they focused it around the Ragnarok thing, it was 3 days of Fimbulwinter before Ragnarok cleared the world, if I remember correctly. And so a lot of the cards are very ice-related, because they're all around that time. Gens up kind of not making much to choose from when it comes to it.
Yeah, not really.
There were a few cool ones that were a bit more previously, like Fenrir and Cetus. The Cetus one? No, that was Olympus, so...
While we're talking about, Asgard, we should talk about Iceblade Astrolox. Or
yes.
however you say about that.
So Astrolox is a new card for Legend World that will be appearing in the next set, Break to the Future, as we were about to say, as well as, at the same time, almost the same time, it was a trial deck called Tomorrow Asmodai. But basically, Break Into the Future is probably what's going to be the set. It's like the equivalent of when they introduced the Twin Blades set. It's kind of, they're more developing the story in the anime into like a more climactic style, but not necessarily. So we're getting more support for 4 different worlds. Just gonna see if I can remember which ones. Dragon World, Darkness Dragon World, Magic World, and Katana World. So no new Legend World for that set, which, oh yeah, because Astrolux was the buddy rare in the actual trial deck.
Oh.
Yeah, that reminds me. Yeah, basically there's a special trial deck which we should also go over. That comes with comes with 2 trial decks, 1 Dragon World trial deck and 1 Legend World trial deck. Each of the decks contain 1 buddy rare. I'm not sure if it's like a chance to get a buddy rare or if it's just straight up you get a buddy rare. But one of them was Ice Blade Astrolux, and he's a little scary, honestly.
No, the buddy rares, it has not been confirmed yet. That's why we do not know. If you get one in every box that you buy, or if there's a chance to get it.
Well,
if there's a chance to do it, it's probably going to be like a case.
All I know is that Iceblade Astrolux is A, in the actual set, and B, by my favorite card game artist, Daisuke Izuka. Which, for those who don't know, he did the art for all the Garmor evolutions in Vanguard.
Okay, the reason why we say Astrolox is very scary is because here is the card. It's a pay 4 gauge. When this card is discarded from your hand, you may pay 2 gauge. If you do, call this card from your drop zone without paying its call cost. Now, it's a size 3 monster with 10,000 power, 4 critical, and 10,000 defense.
Yeah,
wow.
This just screws over Gold Ritter.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if you're getting Gold Ritter out, you're probably gonna have 4 or less life. If you have 5, that's you being lucky. So this guy just straight up hits Gold Ritter.
Bye-bye, Legend World. I mean, not Legend World players. Bye-bye, Seeker players. I hope you had a nice, fun time playing Seeger.
Oh, Seeger. Well, final evolution of Seeger can still deal with it. However, do note that this is a size 3, basically it's an upgrade of Iceblade Joker. And if you know what Iceblade Joker is, you can see why this can screw over Ancient World. For those who don't know what Iceblade Joker is, he is a size 0 with 6,000 power, and it was 2 critical, 3,000 defense. And he had basically a 1 less of every gauge for the ability this guy has, so he costs 2 gauge. 2 gauge? No, 3 gauge. He costs 3 gauge. And when he's sent from the hand to the drop zone, you can pay 1 gauge to summon it. So you fuse this with this guy, with any of the combo cards that allow you to discard cards from hand, and basically you've already got a force that contends with everything in the game.
And it's the first card to have 4 attributes.
Is it? Oh yeah, Asgard, Deity, Light, and Water. Yeah, the most we saw before this guy was 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the first one we saw was the Ursa Klein, and he had 3. Off to the next card, Boomerang Dragon.
Oh yeah, Boomerang Dragon. This card is funny. Basically, he's a size 0 for Dragon World, with 2,000 power, 1 critical, 2,000 defense. Considering Dragon World is getting a size 0, this is already controversial enough. But then he has an ability. Every time he attacks, he bounces back to the hand after the attack is done. This is meant to work with another card, but we'll go over that in a minute. This is a size 0 that bounces to your hand. You can't kill this size 0 easily. You can kill it, just not easily.
Why would you want to kill this thing? I don't know. Well, it does have an ability, you know, with another card, but why would you want to deal with this card anyways?
well, probably to deal with that card, but not by much. You probably want to just get rid of something so it slows down the attack or something. So something like any of the Darkness Dragon World counter destructions, those would work. If you just want to stop damage and kill something.
And why Boomerang Dragon's so powerful is on to the next card. Dragon Return
System.
Okay. Yeah, cut me off there, will you?
Yeah, I wanted to do like a... never mind.
NC set. Card. When a monster on your field is returned to your hand or deck, put the top card of your deck into the gauge. Or gauge. However you guys say it. Gauge. Some people have different...
Oh, we've been through this in the previous podcast.
This ability only activates once per turn, though. If your life would become 0, put this card into the drop zone, and put the top card of your deck into the drop zone. If that card is a spell card, your life becomes 2. Okay, so it's like the Arc and Glory Seeker.
Glory Seeker,
but
Arc,
different.
And the set spell for Thunder Knights. All in one kind of thing. It only gets you 2 life, which is weaker than both the Arc and Glory Seeker. But it's a set spell, which makes it a little different.
And with the Arc, the reason why the Arc is just a little better is because you get to draw a card too. This is just you gain life.
Yeah. But the trick with this is that I don't know if there's gonna be more like Boomerang cards. I kind of want to see more self-bouncing cards. That would actually be cool. Oh my god, the sky's in your hand.
Oh no. Oh man, come on.
Oh. I forgot
Okay.
there's so many self-bouncing spells in Dragon World.
Wait, isn't there like no, it's like a double rare from the first booster. It's like another bounce card, but you have to play it on your turn.
Yeah,
I can't think of it right now.
There was several. There was 3 different spells for Dragon World that could bounce cards back to your hand. 2 of them being counters, and 1 of them gaining new life when you did it.
I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of bouncing cards for Dragon World.
So yeah, this is also in the Dragon side of the deck. We don't actually know the proper numbers, but all we know is that it's a new set.
And on to the next card. And
yeah.
yet, it's another Dragon Shield, because we need more.
Yes, this is also in the double trial deck. Now, it's a bit blurry, so we don't actually know what the actual ability is, but from light translations, we've been able to work it out that it may or may not be pay 1 or 2 gauge to nullify an attack and deal 1 damage to your opponent. Now, I actually have a question about this. Can this nullify any attack, or does you have to have an open center? I'm guessing at that little words at the top, it may say otherwise, but...
So, I think, because it's, Dragon Shield, it has to have an open center, but we never know.
Yes, but I could see people running this between this and the Flying Dragon Shield, or White Dragon Shield. Really don't like Flying Dragon Shield. It's an interesting card, because we know it deals damage, we know it nullifies an attack, we know it's a new Dragon Shield, but that we don't know the specifics.
Okay, we're not gonna go much over pre-releases, but basically what you do for the pre-releases is you would get a mat and a promo Jackknife 10,000 card. You would be able to get 2 mats, which is a Legend World playmat or a Darkness Dragon World playmat.
Incorrect, actually. I actually went to one of these drafts. What happened is you go through a draft format, and the winner is certain to get the Legend World mat. A second Legend World mat would be randomly distributed to one of the players. This is how my store did it. But the Darkness Dragon World mats were part of if you buy 4 boxes of the actual set. Not from the pre-release.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm wrong.
So, For those who don't know, a draft is when you have to choose. It is when you have to open cards from a pack, pick one of those cards out of that pack, put it into what will be a deck, pass on the pack you currently opened onto another person. You will get somebody else's pack, which has already has a card taken out of it, and then you pick another one. You keep doing this until the pack is empty, in which then you open another pack, pass it on to the person you were receiving cards previously, and do the same thing until all the packs are gone, and then whatever cards you picked are your deck, which is a 30-card deck, 29 plus 1 buddy. No flags needed, no world restrictions, nothing.
And, yeah, like I said, we weren't going to go much over the pre-releases. And now we're going to talk about worlds. And there's one word I want to talk about first. And Darkness Dragon World. Their players are scrubs. That's all I gotta say. If you haven't watched the anime, I don't know how to say his name correctly, so I'm going to butcher it, but it's like Ai Mikizake or something like that. What he does is he pulls a buddy card from his back pocket.
Oh,
and that's how
that
he
guy
wins the game.
Oh, yeah. Well, you gotta expect it's stupid bad guy. But he literally pulled out the impact. I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, what, you pulled out Bloody Moon Dragon out of your pocket? What a weird card to pull out of your pocket. But then he ended up going through it, and it happened to be the impact.
Slow Pain Flaw. Okay, so Darkness Dragon World just came out, and it has, like, three impacts now.
Has one in the trial deck and 2 in the set.
Yes, Dark Requiem. And also has Slow Pain Fall, and I don't remember the other one, do you?
I don't remember what it is, but I can easily see what it was.
But the ability is basically, I think you pay 3 gauge, or it's 2 gauge, and you stand up one of your opponent's monster and give it +1 a critical, and you make their own monster attack themselves. So
yes, I found the other impact. It's Demonic Strike Arts Death Requiem, which shows a guy getting chopped in half by one of the Purgatory Knights. This is actually the good impact. You may only cast this card if your opponent has 3 life or less, and your opponent has no monsters on the field. Pay 2 gauge, deal 3 damage to your opponent.
Yes, so it's a lot like the Dungeon World impact.
Yeah, only that your opponent has to have no monsters on the field, so it's kind of like a mix of that and the Ancient World impact.
Also, I really like the Magic World's great spells.
Okay, so we're moving on to Magic World, because we're going to go through each of the worlds, just say our general thoughts of it. I just want to stick over to the Darkness Dragon World for a bit. I am quite conflicted on what to play. I mean, I really liked Spectral Strike, but I hate most of the death cards. Just because most of them require attacking your opponent directly, even if they have a monster in the center. But in the current metagame, you almost have no monsters in the center, so it's a bit off. Also, Nightmare Despair, which is the card that allows you to control your opponent's monster in the center for a turn to finish them off, is bad for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Nobody plays the center. So we've talked about Legend World, we've talked about Darkness Dragon World, on to Magic World.
Okay. We have a new great spell. The great spell is, I believe... No, okay. Devil's Rock and Roll. So its ability is you pay 4 gauge in 1 life, and you must have a 72 pillars on the field. Okay, when you cast this, return all size 2 or lower monsters back to the owner's hands, and look at the top 5 cards, and you're allowed to summon as many 72 pillar monsters as you want, but you have to stick within the size 3 rule, and you gotta pay their call cost.
I can see why you have to pay for the call cost. Because you don't get the abilities relating to call cost by doing so. So things like Soul Guard.
Yes.
Other than that, it's a little off, but Who cares? You get a full field again. This is before you attack.
Yes.
But I have noticed you do have to have a 72 pillars monster on the field already. Yet you were just returning it and summoning more 72 pillars. Kinda wish this was a counter then.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice because what if you somehow pull this off with Saturday Night Devil Fever? Now then,
Yeah.
now then, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Destroy all your monsters to summon 3 more size 1 monsters. Yay!
More monsters that you summoned from deck and drop.
All I can say is, now we're moving on to the next word. Dragon World.
Dragon World is stupidly oversupported.
Yes, because the main character plays it. So
It's
we
also
have
in
to...
every goddamn set.
Yay! Dragon World.
The only things it's not in is in the trial decks for each individual world, and even then, in the double trial deck, it came with a Dragon World trial deck. We don't need another one. We've got how many? 1, 2, 3.
We have 3 now.
Yeah, 3 now. That's stupid. I wish you get a buddy rare with it. Apparently, we still don't know exactly what's going on with these, but nah. If it does come with buddy rares per deck, that would be cool.
That would be cool, but the value of the card would be very low, though, because everybody would be getting it.
Yeah, everyone will be getting it, unless they're like the set's $100. But I mean, you still get a fully gold card for pretty much no reason.
So yeah, it's kind of nice.
Amazing. But of course,
what other worlds are there? Cotton World. I can't say much about it. Ninjas and demons. That's all.
I could say a lot about Katana World, but I'm not going to for time reasons. But I can say that Katana World is very... I don't know, it seems to be winning lately. So, I think more and more people are playing the other version. Ninjas were pretty meh overall.
Skull Warriors?
Skull Warriors, that was it. Skull Warriors, I think more and more people are playing that, and mixing in some of the ninja tricks with it. And so people are starting to win a bit more with it. I have to look at the actual decks to figure out why these decks are winning. But Katana World seems to be getting better lately, and I have no idea why. Because originally it was outside of the meta entirely.
Off to the next word. Dungeon World. Dungeon mix will always be the same. It will always win.
I can go against that slightly, because I've faced enough mixed Dungeon World decks to beat them with my Danger World deck, but I honestly like Adventurers more than mixed.
Yeah, I like Adventurers more, but it's not top tier. It's not in the meta, but still a fun deck to play with.
I think my brother's deck can give a good run for mixed money, because Jesus Christ, 8 penetrate is a scary thing, especially when they have the impact, and you're not expecting it. So now that we're done with Dungeon World, let's transfer on to Ancient World. What's there to say about Ancient World? Other than
Dual Seeger forever, and if not, you will lose.
I have to disagree with that because I've seen the power of Tyrant. Tyrant can be scary. Very scary.
Well, yeah, what I meant to say is if you don't have a size 3, GG.
Yeah, if you don't have a size 3 GG. They're so reliant on a size 3 because they don't even have a null that works with it. That works without a size 3. There's just no point. And also you're trying to use all the counter spells to keep your guy alive. What I have noticed is that Seeger's actually the weaker card, actually, out of the 2 key cards. Tyrant can stay alive, and he can stay alive very well. And as soon as your opponent is not expecting it, you can counterattack their monsters with all the counterattack cards. And I just feel like Tyrant's a lot more consistent than Seeger.
Ooch will still be a problem to Ancient World, though.
Ancient World's surprisingly anti-meta right now. It's surprisingly winning tournaments, and I think someone's worked out why. Everyone's playing Dungeon Mix, and for some reason it seems to be the weakness to Ancient World seems to be its weakness. Just because you slap down a giant monster in the center, they don't have all their penetrate cards from adventurers because nobody runs Tsuku. So they end up just falling because they have to link the center, and because of how Ancient World works, that's quite easy to deal with.
Talking about really good words, next is to Danger World.
Danger World.
The ace cards are really good in my opinion, okay? But we still don't have enough good cards to make a good deck.
Okay. Honestly, I have to disagree with you. We don't have enough for dual dragons. We certainly don't have enough for dual dragons. Even if we did get Spikevine and Radica for dual lord, there's still not enough. However, for Armor Knights, as I was trying to build the deck before the set was released, I started complaining about how there was too many spells. And then I changed my mentality to completely ignore the fact that my monsters have defense.
Yeah.
Outside of keeping them alive to the left and right. I had to change my mentality from using monsters to defend to using my spells to defend, which as a Danger World player I was not used to before set 2. Now I've come to the current realization that I need to throw in Survival Chance somewhere, because at the moment, Danger World's biggest problem is card draw. It's not Healing Life, they got 2 cards for that. It's not getting Gauge, they barely use Gauge as it is, and they've got the Gauge Stealer card, which is really good and anti-meta against Dungeon World, all builds.
Oh, you mean the Demon Slay slash thing?
Yes.
I love that card.
They got the Anti-Destruction card, they've got 2 nulls now in the form of Battle Aura Circle and Gargoyle, Ace. The axe weapon is ridiculous. Like, just straight up good.
Final Battle Scaramangi Demon Slay is not a main card, but it's still pretty good that I would cite it.
I always put in the axe as 3 of, it's my replacement for the spears. I put in 4 of Hysteric Spear because Hysteric Spear is still better.
But the 2 gauge cost, though.
Yeah, I know, I'm kind of bouncing between using 4 of the axe and 3 of the spear, or just sticking with my current thing. But I'll see what testing goes to me, because Danger World is my main game, so I'm going to be testing it until the end of time. Or until Danger World just no longer ever gets support.
Like it almost did.
Like it almost did, yeah.
Okay, on to General Discussion.
Yes,
let's talk about
discussion.
how we think the game is going.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
I really don't like that it's having a very open center focus, because open center used to be a risk in the first 2 to 3 sets, but as soon as Dungeon World got popular, which was very quickly, it ended up just being open center everything, because you didn't want to either face the 8 penetrate that Dungeon Adventurers made, or you just wanted to use the weapon stuff like Gory Seeker and the new weapons Danger World has got. And then there's a whole bunch of move and a whole bunch of things that just really rely on you having an open center. Including the shields. The shields never helped ever, but the shields were if your defense is gone, you use these as a backup. Now it's just, you use these, or you use nothing.
I also agree with you that I really don't like it's going to an open center.
But
if they're going to do that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I like the fact that they're trying to get an open center gameplay. I don't like the fact that they're trying to focus on that and not have a balance between the two. Which is why I kind of like Legend World right now, because they're kind of going into the mix.
I mean, really? If they're going to do a open center, that's what they're mainly going to do, give each world another nullifier. And no, I do not mean a White Dragon Shield clone. I mean another Green Dragon Shield or something clone.
Battle Aura Circle.
Yeah, Battle Aura Circle. Or something like that, because that's what they really surely need.
Yeah. I mean, like, Danger World has got 2 now, but one of them is a monster, and it's actually a little difficult to get out. Even if the heal, like, the do heal, that just makes it awesome. And when you just pay 1 gauge, heal 4 life if you have 6 or life less. That card helps really well with the aces, but overall, like, it's still hard to get Gargoyle Ace into the soul and still live. Especially since people expect it.
Yeah.
So if the game can transition more into a 50-50 with having a center close, I want center to close to be the safe play, not the dangerous play. Because at the moment, it's kind of being the dangerous play with all the penetrate flying around. I want more double attack, less penetrate.
Also, think of cards that have a, shorter name. There's a new card that's going to be released. It's called something like, I rest this fate on this one point of the sword or something like that. I butchered it so completely.
The fate of the world on this one strike. It's a dungeon world impact. It's a lot like Gargantua Punisher.
Yes, I know I butchered it, but the reason why I don't like it, it's so long.
Yeah.
For a card name.
Honestly, if it's in an impact, especially when you're going to rarely play, screaming out that name at the top of your lungs, just playing it just before you finish off your opponent in like a big tournament or something, that would be cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just like screaming and yelling at the top of my lungs.
I fate the face of the fate of the world on this one strike. Bang. I win.
Bang, I win. You lose. Ha ha ha.
Well, I wouldn't go ha ha because like big tournament you gotta have sportsmanship. Which did we go over?
No, we actually decided to take that out.
Yes,
but
we did. Well,
we talked about what we want to see into the game, really. Giraton, I butchered that, sorry.
Giraton is based off Giratina from Pokemon. Go play Pokemon!
So, Giraton. He wants more of a 50-50 of everything, defensive, putting a monster in the center and, having monsters on both sides. That's what he wants. I just want more, nullifiers, at least.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And?
So, what do we got now? Do we want to go over our current decks? Because, honestly, I like discussing decks.
Okay, sure. I'll let you go first, because I've been talking way too much this stream, and it's yours anyways.
Fair enough. So my current deck is Danger World, no surprise there. Currently working on a deck called Armonites Generation 2, which is my new idea of Danger World, because originally, my first Danger World main build was a deck called Dangerous Defense. The idea behind that is you slap down a giant card with a lot of defense right in the center, and watch my opponents squirm as they try to kit it, as I'm slowly pecking at them with 2 or 3 crit from my monsters. And this worked really well until Dungeon World came out. So now that the Extra Booster 2 is out, I've gotten more idea of having more open centers, and this is what I was talking about earlier. But the weapons really do help Danger World to the point where Danger World's just really good right now. I am tempted to throw in... Drill Bunker is in my sideboard right now, just because I still don't like Drill Bunker, but I still consider it a good... I consider it a good impact right now.
Well, I mean, we only have one other impact for Danger World.
And that thing sucks.
Pretty much, yeah. It really does.
Because that relies you on using Demon Slay cards. And if you look at all the spells with Danger World, yeah, you're not using all those Demon Slay cards.
Yeah, you're really not.
Especially since, like, there's these weird cards that just say, like, Demon Slay or something like that in the name, and they're not actually a Demon Slay attribute. It's kind of odd.
Yes. Do you have any other current decks that you're trying to build or play?
Well, I do have a Tarot deck in the works, but the main 2 decks I'm currently working on is Darkness Dragon World and a Million Rapier Ultimate Buddy deck. which is, in case you didn't know, is where you use Million Rapier and Ultimate Buddy together to create this 11k beat stick with double attack and Soul Guard, and just whack your opponent. And it works really well because it counters a lot of things, including Gold Ritter. Like, Ultimate Buddy in general just destroys Gold Ritter. But so as soon as I have that done, that's going to be a fun side deck for me. But Darkness Dragon World, on the other hand, that's going to be a proper deck. Because Spectral Strike is so good, and it used to match with my old mentality of killing all the monsters before attacking the player, which has changed a bit because of the new Danger World set, but I still want to see if that strategy still works. Also, Death Wizard Dragon is funny.
Okay, but the decks that I'm trying to build are a complete dungeon adventures. Just like, appear, no mixed or anything like that in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about playing Darkness Dragon World, but I have my own personal reasons for not playing that, and a lot of scrubs play that.
Fair enough, because when I first saw Darkness Dragon World, I was so torn on whether to play it or not, because Spectral Strike, but dragons. I really don't like dragons in this game.
Yeah, dragon's a little bit overpowered. And the decks that I have right now are a dungeon mix, and I have a basic generic Armor Knight dragon deck, just for my friends to play because they have absolutely no knowledge on how to play Buddyfight. One of them rushes down the center too much, and one of them just plays too defensively.
Yeah, common beginner strategies, I see that often.
And then I play a Jackknife deck. And I do not have Gold Ritter yet, sadly, but I will eventually add that.
I just want to play Jackknife just because Jaeger.
Yeah, Jaeger's pretty OP.
He's not OP, he's just fun. Because if you use Jaeger, you run out of hand, and if you have no hand, you're kind of screwed very quickly, especially in Jackknife. It's still fun as hell though, and can make some decent finishes too. You just don't want to get him out early, which was my mistake during the draft.
Oh.
Because I actually somehow got Jaeger out, because I had one of the Jackknife base form, which was Berserker, I think. And then I ended up having Jaeger in my hand at the same time, and I played both. And I ended up trying to rush my opponent down, got him down to 2 life, but then I had nothing to defend with, so he finished me off the next turn.
Oh. I bet you felt pretty frosty at that point. It's an inside joke, people. We'll explain it later.
Yeah, we'll explain it in the end credits. But for now, we're going to move over to the card of the month, which this month is... which I might have to change that. It might just be card of the podcast, because I doubt I'm going to get this off every month. I still got to go through Year 12 exams for myself, so... once I get through that, videos on all my channels are going to be going a bit more active, hopefully, as long as I'm not a lazy ass.
I feel your pain, dude.
So,
being lazy is nice.
Armonite War Lizard is a Danger World card. Armonite has base power of 3,000, base defense of 3,000, and has 3 crits. So 333, has a core cost of 1 gauge, and he has this really weird ability of counter. During an attack on your opponent's turn, you may put this card from the field into the drop zone. If you do, the next time damage would be dealt to you this turn is reduced by 2.
Okay,
Now,
the reason why it's weird, but it's good at the exact same time, is basically, if you put this into the center and your opponent attacks you, you can destroy this card, and that negates the attack. So no damage would be dealt to you if you pop him off the field. And the next time your opponent deals damage to you, it's going to be reduced by 2. So let's say they deal 4 damage to you, or actually they would only deal 2 damage to you, because it's reduced by 2. So that's the reason why that's a really good card.
yes, and there's a few random rulings and people complain about it, but basically the pros is that you get 3 crit in a monster that's gonna be defending. This gives you both the aggressive power and the defensive power, even if it can't really kill much with its 3000 power and 3000 defense. Plus, this is one of the more defensive cards in Danger World that actually Danger World really needed, especially before Set 2, Extra Booster 2, but it was just one of the best cards before then, and is still one of the good cards now, especially over Sphinx. Oh my, Sphinx is such a bad card. But this card, this is the best first turn play Danger World has. You just simply slap this down in the center, whack, and by the way, his ability of destroying himself stops Penetrate. That's something to note. Because then not only stopping Penetrate, but the next time they try to attack you is reduced by 2. You are stopping a lot of damage there.
The only thing that I really wished that was different is that it had higher defense, even if we had to pay just one more gauge. Because that would be so good if they link attack you, right? And let's say it has 6,000 power, and then you pop him, right? That's 2 attacks already wasted, and your opponent only has like 1 more left.
That would be my dream card, because so far this has been one of my favorite cards in the game. Unfortunately, it has a few issues. 1, it is extremely vulnerable to any form of destruction, except for Ancient World's counter-destruction. And ends up being a little annoying sometimes.
And it is a size 2. It's not a size 1. So remember, it's going to be a size 2, so that's filling up 2 of your slots already.
Yeah, but you're getting 3 crit for that, so it's not too much of an issue. It is still filling up 2 slots, though, yes. It also does fill up your size 2 lineup in your deck, but you won't have to worry too much about that, because you can easily sort out the size 2s for Danger World, unless you're trying to fit both Cerberus Ace and the original Cerberus in your deck at the same time.
Why would he be doing that? I have no idea, but
I'm not. See why. Cerberus Ace is your beat stick and your power up, while the original Cerberus is your bullet destroyer. I normally put in Cerberus, the original Cerberus, into sideboard to deal against decks it's required against, such as Ancient World.
So, this is a really good card, okay? It has more pros than cons on it. Or it seems like it has more.
It does have more pros than cons, but the cons can get very annoying if you're not ready for them. For example, slapping this down first turn and then it getting Pillar to Fired instantly. You're just stuck with nothing for your first attack, and you've got a completely open field. And that gauge was for nothing.
Well, that's why you would be lucky and you have 2 Demon Slay slashes in your hand at once.
Or No, because if you slap down in the center, the special card that works, the Demon Slay Barrier, doesn't work with this card, because you're normally placing him in the center. So you can't keep him alive either, which is also a thing that Danger World has a bit of issues with.
Well, not really. Armor Knight reuse or so, whatever.
Armor reuse.
Armor reuse.
That depends if you're running it or not.
And if you aren't, you're a scrub player.
I'm not running it because I have no room for it.
I'm kidding about the scrubby part. Anyways, if you're going to run this, which you should, you should run it at 3 or 4. 4 is kind of little but 3 is more perfect.
I run it at 2, simply because that gauge cost can get a little annoying sometimes. But 2 or 3, 4 is a bit much. But yeah, 3 is probably the best number.
And now it's time for the closing notes.
But first of all, we're going to go back on that joke we made earlier. Basically, we just came from the from Team Burning Infinity's live stream, and they started talking about Ice Blade Joker, and then I ended up making after looking at Ice Blade Joker's wiki page, I started talking about ice jokes. It somehow caught on, and
me and him were doing it for like a while, and it was really fun.
We did it for about 30 minutes. Like, Ragnarok is a dish best served cold.
I like my dragons cooled.
So we ended up just making a whole bunch of jokes, including a Let It Go joke.
Yeah, we brought Frozen into Buddyfight.
Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
Don't hold on to your hand anymore. It was a reference.
And say goodbye to your monsters.
Something about power. I'm gonna have to work that out. Seriously, I'm gonna make that a song and I'm gonna post it on this channel.
Do it.
I may not sing it, but my god, I am going to write it.
I will sing it with my beautiful voice.
So that's all we got for today. I'm Giraton. You can find me on 3 different YouTube channels. I'm going to be setting up a few Facebook pages, maybe. I have a Twitter account for my game creations, because I do game design. I will put all those links down in the description. Where can we find you?
You can find me at my YouTube channel, Team Buddyfight. I also have another YouTube. I do anime there, but I don't post a lot, so...
Fair enough.
My other channel is Archangel Anime Review. If you were wondering.
So yeah, hopefully we will get a bit more active, because I'm finally getting out of Year 12 exams. Yes! I can't wait to get through them. And then all new stuff, including a new review for my anime reviewing channel, so look out for those. But for now, thanks for listening. Thanks for even looking at this, because I rarely get enough views as it is on any of my things. And thanks for coming on, Team Buddyfight.
Thank you for letting me join the stream or podcast. Whatever. I don't care anymore.
Editing. So yeah, see you all next time.
Bye. Have a fun time buddy fighting.